So, let's talk about our brains, specifically how we can protect and support them with some really simple, gentle habits we can start doing, well, today. It's a topic that matters to all of us as we get a little older, and you know what? The solutions are way more accessible than you might think.
Does this sound familiar at all? Maybe you've noticed it takes just a little more effort to pull up a name, or that by the end of the day, your mind just feels kind of wiped out. If that's you, you are definitely not alone in this. The thing is, these subtle shifts are a completely normal part of how our brain changes over time. It is not a sign that something's wrong, it's just a sign that your brain is evolving. And hey, it might appreciate a little extra support. And here is the best part. We are not talking about some huge, drastic life overhaul. Nope, the most powerful support actually comes from small, consistent actions. These are the habits that can keep your mind sharp and resilient for years and years to come. So let's dive into the first one. Okay, our first habit is all about gentle movement. This might just be one of the best and most immediate gifts you can give your brain, and believe me, it is so much simpler than you think. That's right, just 10 minutes. We're not talking about running a marathon here. In fact, there was a study that showed a simple 10-minute walk can boost blood flow to key parts of your brain by up to 15%. That gives you better clarity almost immediately. So why does this work so well? Well, when you move, you're sending this rush of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood straight to your brain. It's like a delivery service for good stuff. This simple act helps with memory, it sharpens your focus, and it can give your mood a really wonderful lift.
Now, what's really important to get from this is the core message. Your brain doesn't really care if you're sprinting or lifting super heavy weights. What it truly values, what it thrives on, is regularity. A gentle walk every single day is way more powerful for your long-term brain health than one intense workout a week. The key here is just to keep moving, gently and consistently.
All right, let's move on to our second habit. This one's about giving your brain the one thing it almost never gets in our busy world, a real break. We're talking about pure, simple, quiet time.
I love this reframe because it's so important. In a culture that just praises being busy all the time, it's easy to feel guilty for taking a moment to do nothing. But these quiet moments, they aren't empty. They're when your brain actually gets to reset, to recharge, and to clear out all the mental clutter.
And here's the science behind why this is so critical. Chronic stress, right? It floods our brain with hormones that over time can actually damage and even shrink the hippocampus. That's your brain's memory command center. So taking just a few peaceful moments for yourself lowers those stress levels, protecting your brain from that long-term harm. And look how easy this can be. You don't need a special cushion or a silent retreat. We're talking 30 seconds a few times a day. That can make a world of difference. It's such a tiny investment with a huge return for your mental clarity.
All right, habit number 3 is about activity, but this time it's for your mind. Think of it this way. Just like your muscles, your brain absolutely thrives on being used in new and interesting ways. The key word here is novelty. When you learn or try something new, even something really small, you are literally building new roads, new neural pathways in your brain. This is what keeps it flexible, adaptable, and sharp as you get older. And the great news is the challenges don't have to be hard. You can forget about doing complex math problems. It can be as simple as learning one new word, or reading a single page from a book. Even listening to a song you've never heard before, or trying out a new recipe. Those are perfect brain exercises. So please remember this. It's not about becoming an expert or getting everything right. The real goal is to simply engage your curiosity. That's the spark that lights up your brain and keeps it strong. Okay, on to a habit that taps into our very nature as social beings, connection. This might honestly be one of the most protective things you can do for your brain. And this is why it matters so much. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can actually increase the risk of dementia pretty significantly. Meaningful connection, even in small doses, acts as a powerful shield against that risk. And just look at what's happening inside your brain during a simple little chat. You're lighting up all these different areas, regions related to memory and language, you're focusing your attention, and you're regulating your emotions. A 5-minute phone call is basically a full brain workout. It's amazing. And finally, our 5th habit. Let's talk about fuel. The food you eat has a direct and pretty profound impact on your brain's function, its energy, and its long-term health. This is a fantastic, simple guide. Think of adding berries, which are like little bodyguards for your brain cells, or leafy greens to help with oxygen flow,
or some nuts for that sustained energy. Each one provides a specific benefit to help your mind run as smoothly as possible.
And once again, notice the theme here? The approach is gentle and totally manageable. This is not about some restrictive, complicated diet. It's about addition. Just focus on adding one of these good-for-your-brain foods to your plate each day. That's it. Simple as that.
So, as we start to wrap this up, it really all comes down to this. Don't feel overwhelmed like you have to do all 5 of these habits perfectly tomorrow. The real power is just in starting. Just pick one.
Think of these 5 habits as your brain's daily toolkit. A little movement, a moment of quiet, a fun little challenge, a quick chat with someone, and a healthy snack. Together, they create this powerful, protective shield for your mind. So I'll leave you with this question. It's not about tomorrow or next week. It's about right now. Looking at this list, what is the one simple, kind gift you're going to choose to give your brain today?